What is up, everybody? My name is Brian. I have a consumer goods company here in Austin. Actually, I'm not employed by Stacks. I'm not employed by CityCoins. I'm a community member. The reason I'm here is because I've been leading some pretty cool conversations in the city of Austin with the municipality. So with Councilwoman Mackenzie Kelly and Mayor Adler. For those of you following along, there was actually a presentation very recently about our city's adoption of Bitcoin or blockchain technology and cryptocurrency throughout the municipality. So I've been leading these conversations with Mackenzie and with Mayor Adler. And the whole effort is to really further blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. So I'll give a little bit of an overview on what Stacks is, because I chatted with a few folks and apparently not a lot of people really know what Stacks is. So I'll give a little bit of an overview of Stacks. I'll give a little bit of an overview about CityCoins. I want to reiterate that I am not employed by either of these entities. I am just a community member. I'm also not a dev, but because of my involvement on trying to lead some of these CityCoin initiatives, here I am. So Stacks is a layer one blockchain technology, and it uses Bitcoin as its settlement layer. So it uses a novel consensus mechanism called proof of transfer. It basically recycles the proof of work from Bitcoin and allows smart contract capability and app functionality that settles ultimately in Bitcoin. The way that you mine Bitcoin, or mine Stacks rather, is reliant really on Bitcoin. So you pay in Bitcoin, and for Stacks, the other side of the consensus mechanism is stacking as opposed to staking, like it would be for Ethereum. And so Bitcoin is paid into mine. A small amount of that is burned, and then the remaining portion is paid out to the stackers. So you can actually earn a Bitcoin yield by stacking your Stacks. So it's pretty cool. Web3, I think we're all pretty much here because we believe in what we're building. So, Web2 gave us a solid foundation. That foundation lasted us for several decades. And now we're slowly breaking down what was wrong with Web 2 and building up what we want to see with Web 3, transactions capabilities, more decentralization and ownership of information. And a lot of this is very present in the Ethereum ecosystem, and it's somewhat present in the Bitcoin ecosystem. And really the initiative behind Stacks, and I'm going to flip through some of these slides. The initiative behind Stacks is to bring this app technology, smart contract technology, to the Bitcoin technology, or to the Bitcoin blockchain with Bitcoin as the ultimate settlement layer. So pretty cool. And Stacks is actually pretty chain agnostic. So it was created as a gas token actually, and the whole initiative behind it is really to support building on any chain. So there are things being built on Stacks right now that support Ethereum. There are things being built on Stacks that help further Bitcoin, and really it's chain agnostic. So pretty great. And again, this is more about my experience with Stacks. So I first discovered Stacks back in 2017, and the reason that I was pretty drawn to it was because they did actually the first regulated token offering. So if everyone remembers the ICO craze in 2017, I was actually looking for a reason to get involved with cryptocurrency in some way. I wanted a reason to learn about it. And to that point, I really didn't have any reason to care. And coming from a capital markets background, the fact that they were willing to do a regulated token offering to me meant that they were willing to do things the right way. And so I made an investment, and Stacks really as an ecosystem has been vested in continuing to do that. So I'm going to actually fast forward through some of this. Why Bitcoin though? Durability and stability, security, all these things that we kind of know to be true about Bitcoin. The ultimate base layer for Web3. Smart contracts directly on the Bitcoin blockchain are the holy grail of crypto. Little quote by Satoshi here. Stacks is built in a programming language called Clarity. Like I said, I'm not a dev, but I am pretty plugged into the ecosystem here. So if anyone, if there are devs out there that want to learn about what Clarity is, I'm happy to connect you with some of those folks directly. And from what I understand with respect to Clarity, it's a very development-friendly, programmer-friendly programming language. So kind of getting to what I was talking about before, Stacks has really made an effort to structure their ecosystem to support building. And we've seen this there was actually a $150 million fund announced about a month ago called Trust Machines by the founder of Stacks, Manib Ali. Another $165 million fund that launched about a week ago. There's the Stacks Foundation, the Stacks Accelerator, all these things just basically with an interest in supporting building on the Stacks ecosystem. And actually, about a week and a half ago, there was an accelerator here in town announced in conjunction with Capital Factory, where Stacks and Capital Factory are seeding $500,000 each into an accelerator here in town to support building on really any blockchain. It's not just Stacks specific. You can see that the infrastructure around Stacks is pretty robust. It's trading on some of the largest, exchanges in the world, and there's there's quite a bit of coverage on it. So anything that you can do with any other blockchain, you can also do with Stacks. So NFTs are on Stacks, domain registration is on Stacks, mobile wallet integration, some pretty cool stuff, and kind of building to. Really, the reason that I'm here is because of CityCoins. So CityCoins from my perspective, has shown what's really possible with proof of transfer as a consensus mechanism. So the way that CityCoins works is, and I'll pull up the little mining graph here. So the same way that you mine Stacks by paying in Bitcoin, you mine CityCoins by paying Stacks into a smart contract. 70% of those Stacks that are paid into the smart contract go to stackers of the CityCoin. 30% of those Stacks that are paid into the smart contract go to the City wallet. And that City wallet is basically used to build value, build utility. So we've all kind of seen, if I kind of come back here. So we've all seen what's going on in Miami, I'm sure, Miami Coin, NYC Coin. These are all protocols that were launched. And just going back to my direct experience, coming from a capital markets background, when I saw what was going on with Miami Coin, I was really interested in learning how I can help bring that same initiative to Austin. I think with Miami, so for those of you who don't know, Miami was launched in July of 2021, Miami Coin, when it was starting to mine. In September of 2021, the city of Miami voted to pass a resolution to accept a donation from CityCoins. And ever since, they have been basically building utility. And there are some really cool things that are in the works that I'm sure will be announced very soon on really what is capable and what is possible. But imagine, if you will, an environment where we can incentivize adoption or payment of utility bills, payment of taxation, payment of your text tag, and incentivizing using a CityCoin for these kinds of things, incentivizing holding of a CityCoin because of the access it gives you within your city or within your municipality. So there are a lot of really cool things that are possible with a CityCoin. And Miami is the tip of the iceberg. New York City, and we've learned a lot really from Miami Coin. We've learned a lot from New York Coin. And the initiative here in Austin is to take advantage of some of the resources that we have at our disposal. I mentioned the CityCoins Accelerator before. Access to minds like Balaji, Ryan Hoover with Product Hunt, Manib and Ryan Shea, the two founders of Stacks. Some really great people, Pat Stanley, who actually founded the CityCoins project. Some really great people who are lending their time, their expertise, and their money into building something that to me is very idealistic, but also something that's worth my passion, worth my time and my energy, equitizing municipal funding, which is a great concept. The value of the city wallets fluctuates based on the value of Stacks. So currently the cities don't actually hold the native city coin. We're working on ways to get that to be different, basically, to have cities actually holding their native city coin. This is a little bit about Mayor Suarez in Miami, who's really led this initiative on Miami's front. They just used about $5 million for rent relief in the city. Now, ultimately, what we really want to have happen is utility that's being built to support the ecosystem, to support the city. So everything that we are aiming to do here in Austin is in an effort to put together a clear and transparent timeline on the launch of a potential CityCoin, and to basically build utility that is measured. So having direct KPIs that we can point to and point to success within those KPIs. And so just moving forward, we're learning from the lessons of Miami Coin, we're learning from the lessons of New York Coin, and we expect a pretty bright future ahead of us. So I'll open the floor to questions if there are any. Yep.
What's the roadmap? What's the timeline for Austin?
So ideally, we want to try to announce sometime around consensus. But I mentioned before, our main goal is to work with the city. So we're really grateful to have had Mayor Adler and Mackenzie Kelly lead an initiative to get the council to care about conducting diligence on what CityCoins would do for the city. The next step is to really drill in with them on what success looks like. And if we can't define that, that's going to be an impediment to our timeline. So we need to define it, and we need to make sure we do it right before we go about doing any kind of launch. But ideally, we'd like to target sometime around consensus. Yeah. Go ahead.
Do you have any history of working with Hero? Because I've heard that actually is kind of like a nice set of helper libraries with staff.
Hero, so directly no, but I've used. Hero is the native wallet within the Stacks ecosystem, and then Hero PBC is obviously the entity who is behind supporting the ecosystem. Yes, I'm loosely connected with them, but like I said, I'm just a community member. Nothing specific. Yep.
I was wondering, how did you guys manage the economics of the previous CityCoin projects?
How did we manage the tokenomics?
Yeah, how are you taking those lessons?
Yeah, so take Miami Coin, for instance. With the mining of Miami Coin, in the first cycle, not a lot of people really knew about it. So people were mining, and in the second cycle, they were able to stack, and momentum really built, and energy kind of built around it. So more people actually mined in the second cycle than they did in the first. And what happened was it created a return profile that was pretty robust, because there were fewer CityCoins in circulation, and there were more people investing in mining. So there were greater stacking rewards to the people who mined in the first cycle. And so it created a lot of irrational exuberance in New York City Coin. And so when we started mining New York City Coin, people expected like-in-kind returns. But what happened was actually the opposite. That irrational exuberance led to people mining way more in the first cycle. So those NYC coins in the first cycle were spread across way more people. And then the mining activity actually decreased in the second cycle, which meant there were a greater distribution of NYC coin, and there were far less mining rewards, or stacking rewards rather, to be split amongst the community. So it created a negative flywheel in essence. And so there are a lot of things that we are aiming to do, and it's really a community effort. But first and foremost, we want to modify the halving cycle. We want to put way less tokens in distribution. That's a really, really important one. The next is, I think people are now, this was novel, right? This is the first time people have really tried to do this. And we kind of broke down a barrier. Like, initiative number one was get municipalities to actually care. And now that they care, I think we have an opportunity to iterate. And prior to, we were all making emotional decisions. Whether you were making an emotional decision because you liked what was being built or because you were attracted to the return profile, you were making an emotional decision. And now we have a much better idea of what the tokenomics actually look like. We have a much better idea of what relative parity is. Like, what should the market cap of a city coin be relative to the treasury of the city wallet? What do we actually expect the city to be able to execute on? And then also, how do we give legitimate a legitimate voice to the token holders in the community? So all these things are being addressed, and I think anyone who's been engaged with the CityCoins community, or at least aware of what we've been up to, I think is going to be excited about some of the announcements that are coming up. And these should take effect also. They should impact Miami Coin and NYC Coin, and really set a precedent for how we intend to go about ATX Coin to the extent that we do launch an ATX Coin. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
Can you go back to the tokenomics slide, please?
Yeah. Is that's what you're referring to?
Yeah.
Yep. And if anyone wants this deck, I'm happy to share it. So just let me know. Yeah.
In your opinion, how likely is it that we see an ATX city coin? Like, has the city been, positive towards that, or have they expressed negativity?
So the city passed or didn't pass any resolution yet. The city announced the intention to present a resolution to City Council on March 24th. And it has pretty universal adoption amongst the City Council. But that resolution is not just for CityCoins. It started out because of our conversation with CityCoins, but now it is a resolution for the learning and education about just Bitcoin or blockchain technology and the adoption of crypto as a whole throughout the municipality. And CityCoins is just one piece of that. Thus far, it has been received very well, but we recognize that there's work to do before anything's done. So I'm not in a position to really wait the launch of the successful launch of an ATX coin, but I can say that the conversations are ongoing and the sentiment is positive.
Oh, and also,
Yeah.
in terms of other cities moving forward, are you able to say, like, which cities we may see next in terms of this?
It's totally community driven, actually. The reason we're even here talking about it is because I've been leading it for Austin. So anyone from any other city, I know it's South by, so there are transplants here, who wants to try to bring something like this to their city, they can. Yeah.
I'm like really concerned about Curtis Sackers benefiting on the launch of a new city,
Mm-hmm.
and then using the new city as equity community for their sex.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't know what's your personal position on this, but I'm curious as to what are the positions in place to keep that from happening with Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you guys are going to launch in Austin, we want something that actually benefits the community, benefits the city, benefits the people, the businesses, and that's all that benefits stakeholders. So they can use it as a
Well, so yeah, I think what you're touching on is the fact that anyone can be a speculator in a city, and really, I agree with you. That's what we want to prevent. And I think one of the unique things about what CityCoins can do is it can create an onboarding ramp for anyone in the city. So basically, imagine, and I know in cryptocurrency, some people are averse to being doxxed, but what we're trying to do is incentivize people in general, people who don't know about cryptocurrency, to have a vested interest in learning, right? Because with something like CityCoins, they then become a stakeholder in their city. So imagine, if you will, an opportunity for someone to go get KYC'd who doesn't care about being doxxed, and they can get airdrop legitimate value. They can get airdrop their CityCoin. But in order to do that, they have to go through a gamified educational platform where they're learning about what CityCoins is, how it can be used, or just learning about the city, learning about blockchain technology, learning about anything, right? And then because it's gamified, once they have that trophy, they then get airdropped that CityCoin. They become a constituent in the city. And the idea behind the conversation with the municipality is only providing that benefit to, or whatever benefit it is. Like imagine getting a discount on your property taxes because you're a participant in the ecosystem, or imagine just access to education, like discounted tuition to a state school because, or UT because you're a CityCoins holder. So we're never gonna completely eliminate speculation, but we can highly disincentivize speculation and weight the value, the utility of the value of the CityCoin to constituents within our city. But you're right. I mean, it's not a perfect solution, and we're definitely talking about it. And I would highly encourage you to get into Discord and talk about those concerns, because we welcome that kind of conversation. Yeah. We done? Cool. Thanks, everyone.